Welcome to the Five and Dime on Where There's a Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian, your mid-complexity casual gamer.
I'm Stacey. I am your non-gamer gamer.
And today we are here with, I believe might be our final Five and Dime on the channel. I think we're going to change up our ranking things here. Instead of doing all my solo and our top fives each, I think we're going to just go to a top five ranking after this week. So we're going to kind of change some things up, and I will move my solo stuff to a Sundays, um, along with some playthroughs and stuff on Sundays as well. Just to make these videos a little quicker and to make it so that I'm not talking twice as much as Stacy and we can kind of reformat some things. I'm just going to slide this a little bit because it's I'm just a little far over on the screen. I would bump her out of the way, but Stacy's ailing from
Please do not.
some injuries that she has. So we're going to get through this pretty quick. So this is our Five and Dime for our favorite new to us games so far this year. And this is games that came out before 2025 and some that came out in 2025. When we do our lists in 6 months from now, I guess, in January, we will have these separated out into two different lists. But these are, these are just our top games, new to us games so far. I have played 16 new games solo only and 51 other new games that were mostly multiplayer. I looked on my list and there was only a couple of them that I actually played solo. There's a couple that I hope to get to solo this month. Um, yeah, so I played a total of 67 new to me games. 16 were solo only.
And for being a non-gamer gamer, I think I'm doing pretty good this year so far. I have 53 new games to me this year. So I don't know how many days we're in, but that's at least one game every other day.
Yeah, probably pretty close.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably pretty close. Yeah, we did it.
So
We did a lot of new stuff. With the channel and stuff. So, and she has a couple more than me because two of her new ones that I don't think made her list. I had played on Board Game Arena before, so they weren't technically new to me. They were just new on the tabletop. All right, so we're just going to do this one a little quick today. Jump right into it. So I'm going to give my solo one, my solo number 5. Stacy's going to give her number 5. Then I'm going to give my number 5 multi, and we'll just kind of do it like that. So my number 5 solo is part of the Loaded Roll and Write series with Three Sisters and Fleet the Dice Game, and that is French Quarter by 25th Century Games. In French Quarter, you are trying to place different things in the French Quarter on the different buildings, all while also having the parade, which I can't remember what they call it, the first line, I think it's called or something, as it's moving around. I don't think that's the name of it. And you're doing some combos. You can put some numbers in buildings. You can do those in. You can't have the same number next to each other. You have to have numbers one above, one below, I believe it was. And then you're doing some things in some different streets in the French Quarter. I really like this one. The AI in this one compared to like Three Sisters and Fleet the Dice Game is much simpler. It does not actually get rid of any of your stuff. It just blocks possible travel ways because you can travel in the French Quarter 4 different ways, and it just blocks which ways you can possibly do it. So that is French Quarter by 25th Century Games.
and for those of you who are not familiar with the French Quarter, that is in Louisiana.
In New Orleans.
In New Orleans. So, yeah.
Or, I don't know if that's in New Orleans.
New Orleans. So then is it my first?
Yes.
I'm
yes.
so confused.
Yep.
Okay, so then my next game is not over here.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, that one. We're doing it. Oh,
Sorry, we ranked them. So this is your number 5.
We ranked them. Normally I'm alphabetical, so
and
this
that's not
is
alphabetical
really
at all. So this is
throwing
number
me.
5.
Okay, I'm on it. So my number 5 game, I'm a little unprepared, is just a small game that's easy to get to the table, has a beautiful box cover, and that's Dive. Dive, I don't know who makes games. Ian usually fills me in on that.
This is not written on the sit down games.
Sit down games. With Dive, you are trying to make it to the bottom of the ocean by identifying different creatures as you move through the top to the bottom in these clear cards. I got it. I get it. So I know you're not going to be able to see this very well, but here's one of the clear cards that you're trying to identify what's below this one on the board game. Um, the cards are very similar to the canvas cards in that they are, I don't know what that kind of material is
They're
called.
just transparent.
Yeah, that's a good word. I guess that's what they're called. Transparent, that you are trying to put you're trying to guess how many layers down you can go until you see the next shark or manta ray. And this is a fun, delightful game. It's easy to play. There's a couple different ways that you can play it. So therefore, it made my number 5 because of the artistry, the gameplay, and how long it takes to set up.
That's a good one.
I like games that are fast to set up. I like weeknight games.
Yeah.
As well. Some that you work 8 hours or 10 hours or however many hours, you come home and you just want to have that comfort game that you can just pull right from the box. Because this is the game.
Don't
Oh,
lift,
nope,
don't lift
we
it.
won't because the
Yeah.
legs will fall off.
Yeah.
Anyway, you just literally take it out of the box and put it on the table, shuffle the cards, and they're pretty decent sized cards. Roll them all around, put them back on there, and you're good to go. Uh, Good game. I highly recommend it for gamers and non gamers alike. If you like it, that is Dive.
Right, that's a good one. I do like that one. It is actually Stacy grabbed it because it's on the table because I'm going to do a solo stream of that. I think tomorrow. Oh, actually, this would I don't know when this post. It may have the solo stream may have already posted. I may do a live stream of it.
Maybe we should do a new stream of that one since our last one didn't work very well. Isn't that the one that didn't have any sound for like the first?
No, that was Rec Raiders.
Oh, never mind.
We did that one
It
with
is a
three
while ago.
others. We did that one at the very beginning of the year on January 1st.
Oh,
With two other Push Your Luck games.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I think something at the end cut out or something at the very end.
We've had some
Anyway,
issues. It's okay.
my number 5 game comes to us from Pecta Studios. It's all about traveling around the world, and this one we did quite a bit of coverage for a few months ago. And this one was a Kickstarter that I backed, and we got it in last year, and then we finally got it to the table. And this is Wanderlust: Discover the World. Actually, we covered this one last month. There's a solo stream and a multiplayer stream of this, 2-player stream. In Wanderlust, you're traveling around the world. There are always 3 destinations that you can go to. The unique thing about this one and the interesting thing about this one and why this one moved ahead of something Stacey's going to talk about in just a little bit is the idea of you need to have all of your possible travel, whether it's car, train, plane, private jet, or a charter plane, boat, whatever it is. You need to have everything ready before you can actually travel to the locations, and you're never traveling in between spots. So if you have 4 spots to go, 4 cities to go to get to one of the 3 locations that's available, you have to have all of the possible travel ways you can get there. You are also trying to do some set collection. You're trying to you can get souvenirs, take pictures, or send postcards depending on what type of city you're in. Whether you're in a city, a port, or a natural wonder. Yeah, I really like this. It's just really interesting. You've got some extra bonus cards that you can get some points for. But like I said, I think the big part about this one is I like the idea of you need to plan way ahead. It's not like, oh, I'm going to slowly make my way over to something. It's, I need to plan way ahead because I need to have everything I need because then I believe you also needed the right things in order to visit. No, once you get there, you get to visit it. But yeah, so it's just a really interesting game. You have some asymmetric player powers. You have, if you take a plane from one, each region has an airport. If you take a plane from one to the next, you also can get an encounter, which gives you some extra abilities and bonuses. So I really like this one. The solo in this is very difficult. The more extra characters you have in, it's a little bit easier because they're taking stuff from each other. If you play with only one extra character, it's really hard because they're doing everything and they're going right to the stuff. So, but yeah, this is Wanderlust: Discover the World by Pecta Studios. My number 5 multiplayer new game of the year. Moving on to my number 4 solo game. My number 4 solo game is comes to us from Bezier Studios, and this is a flip and write with some really cool vellum papers that you write on, and this is called Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig. I've never played Mad King Ludwig or Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Probably won't ever get it because it'd probably be for solo. Although I did hear it might be on alpha on Board Game Arena now. So someone said it was on Board Game Arena. So we'll see. But in Blueprints, you are building a castle out with these really weird shaped rooms, and you're trying to connect the entrances. You're trying to close them off so that all of the entrances are closed so you can get some bonuses from them. You are trying to fulfill some different goals that have depending on like the types of rooms or the number of rooms or the number of closed rooms. You also can expand your castle, the space you can build on. If you get certain types, you can go into like one of the colors, you go into the basement, but then everything there has to be connected to those. You can get a moat around it. So here's kind of a picture of what it looks like. Yeah, I really like this. It's a really interesting. Um, I've always been interested in Castles of Mad King Ludwig just because I like tiling and the whole idea of the weird shaped rooms and stuff always kind of intrigued me. So I like this one. This one definitely moving up my flip and right uh, or draft and right type game uh, because it just got that interesting room. And I like the fact that the vellum paper, you slide it in so that you can see what the room shape is. But yeah, that's Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig, my number 4 game that I've played solo only, new to me in 2025.
Can you erase it?
No, they've got a bunch of them.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
stack of them.
Okay.
I actually made that mistake because I had set it up a couple days before I actually got it, and I had put the rest of them in the box underneath something, and I didn't. For some reason, I didn't realize there was a whole stack of them, like normal rolling rights and flipping rights, and I'm like, why is this not erasing? Yeah, it was just I was tired, and it was several days after I had actually set it up before I actually got to play it. I totally forgot there was a whole stack of them. So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, duh.
I've obviously never played that one. But anyway, my number 4 is the first edition I did not like. It wasn't my
No,
favorite.
no,
Second
no.
edition came out as an entirely different game, and I really, 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 really like it. Let me make sure I can.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you.
It's Trekking the World. Um,
Bye.
I don't know.
Underdog.
Underdog, I think.
Underdog
Underdog
Yes.
Games. In Trekking the World, it's similar to what Ian just kind of described with Wonderlust, where you're earning the pieces. The I can't think today. You're earning the different color tokens to move yourself around the world and to earn different cities that are located around the world, and you're trying to earn 7 cards. Is it?
Think so. I think it's 7.
And you're keeping your bank on a little slider card, so everybody keeps track of their own bank. So hopefully everybody's honest when they're doing so that you're not screwing the other players over. So you will add and subtract as you spend and gain money. I really enjoy this game. It is colorful, which always catches my eye. I'm one of those people that if the box looks nice, I'll try the game. And so the box looks nice. I like learning about history. I like learning about different places and locations. So it's right up my alley. This is, again, most of my games that I have on my list, I think are for gamers and non gamers alike. So I won't have to repeat myself for each one of those. But this is for gamers and non gamers alike. It's easy to teach. It's easy to play. Not the easiest game for a evening game with the to just plop on the table. It's got a bigger board that goes with it and some things you need to set around it. But it's a fun game. It plays in I don't know 40 minutes
Probably
with just
45
the two of
minutes
us.
to an hour, depending.
Yeah. So I like that game. I recommend playing that game. The first edition, not a fan. Second edition, make sure you're looking for the second edition. If you kind of like the games that I like, I think you'll really enjoy that one as well.
So that one was my number 6. It was that and Wanderlust. I did decide between the two, and I went with Wanderlust over Trekking. But really, those two are very close. They are similar, but they are very different as well. like they said, with trekking, the second edition is so much better. They added a dual use card where some of them are cards where you're trying to get to visit the location, and some of them you're trying to get to so you can get like an extra ability. The coin, um, the little coin dial for keeping your money, love that.
Mm-hmm.
The oh, what else was I gonna say? The card, the way you move is different. The first edition felt like they just threw a different skin on trekking the national parks, if you
Mm-hmm.
know that, where you, which is very similar to a Ticket to Ride type game. The second one, everything about it, the cards now, instead of having a color and a number and you like move or use it to visit locations, now what you do is you are it tells you how many spaces to move, how much money you earn, and if you're in the right region, in the right continent, then you get souvenirs. So the improvements they made to the
Yeah.
second edition, it is a completely different game. It isn't even the same game. Yeah, I agree. The second edition, like I said, that and Wanderlust were my 5 and 6, and they were very close to each other. So
One of the other things that I do like about trekking is that you have different goal cards that you can achieve as well. So if you visit the most countries that are one color, because each continent is a different color, or each country is a different color, so you can visit different.
I think you're mixing.
No, I'm not. It's one of these cards,
Oh, one of the
and you
bonus.
get the
Okay, when you,
bonus
yeah, that's right.
cards.
If you flip over if you use the back side,
Yeah,
if it's
on the
one of the
dual
back side
card.
on a dual, okay, that's right.
You
Yeah,
can get different bonuses that way as well. So each card has a different bonus on the back of it. So each time you play, it's going to be a different encounter of how you're going to be doing it and kind of setting your goals for how you're going to play the game.
yeah, yeah. That's a good one. Definitely look for the second edition. My number 4 is one that Stacy's already talked about. My number 4 moment,
Oh,
and that is Dive. Like I said, I've not played this solo yet. I will be solo streaming this at some point or recording a video for it. Um, Dive is just, like Stacy said, is just a phenomenal push your luck game, where you are programming your diver up to 5 locations to see how far you think you can dive down without running into any sharks. So you have these tokens that have either a white side or they've got a shark side, and you have to program if you think you see a shark or not on the level. If you do, then you put the shark side down. And if you're right, you get to keep on going down. If you're wrong, you're done. You don't get to go any further. The manta rays and the sea turtles have a little bonuses where you can like move further ahead or you can gain some spaces. Um, and then if there's a tie, if two people both, if there's a sea turtle or a manta ray, and both people were right, then you see whoever programmed there's the highest, and you have numbers 1 through 5 on these tokens, and you can use more than one on a space. You don't have to try and go 5 down. The thing that also makes it very unique is some of them have holes, and you can kind of see that. So you don't know like where the holes are and what level they're on. So it makes it that much trickier because if you've got 2 holes that are overlapping each other, you're like, oh, where is that thing? Is that thing above the holes? Is it below it? How far below it? Is that hole really overlapping or is there something in between? So it makes it really interesting. There's also some variants
mm-hmm.
you can play. It says you can play with like your phone or a flashlight underneath it, so it kind of glows through them. And then there's a couple other little modules. And like I said, we did a 2-player stream of this on January 1st when we did some push your luck games, and I'm gonna do a solo playthrough of it here coming up. So that is Dive. My number 3 solo only game is a small little button shy game. It immediately shot up into my top button shy games, top 3. And this is a nice cuppa. And in a nice cuppa, you are doing all your best to make the perfect cup of tea and putting your cards in order. Something Stacey and I really enjoy is tea. And all while dealing with your daily stresses. And so what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle up your 7 T cards, just put them down, whatever order they come up, 1 through 7, that's the order. And then you have 7 stresses that you put below it. You flip 1 stress over, you do what it says. So you're moving cards around, you're trying to get them in order from 1 to 7. If you have more than 1 stress card, then what you do is you will do them in order from left to right. If the stress card is underneath the active side of a card, believe it is, then it goes away. So you can try and move cards around to get rid of the stresses. I also have all the expansions for it. I've played with a couple of them. The seasonal stresses, which just adds another card depending on the season, and a good book, which adds a 0 and an 8, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Nice Kappa is a great solo game. Really enjoy this one and the puzzle of trying to figure out where to move things to get things in the right spot. So that is a Nice Kappa by Button Shy.
My number three, I have to pay attention so I know which number I'm on. So my number three is a game that I really enjoy playing. I won't use my excuse of why I enjoy playing it because I'm a professional bomb buster. It runs in my family. So, Bomb Busters, and this is by Pegasus Spiel. And in Bomb Busters, you are working cooperatively to disarm bombs by matching numbers with the other people that are playing the game as well, and not getting the bombs. Once you get the bombs, which are the red wires, once you cut the red wires, then it's a realistic game and it's done. That's all I'm going to say about that. The yellow ones, you have to match the yellow ones to the yellow ones with the other partners that are playing with their numbers. They go from 1 to 12. You have to lay down your ones. If you have all the ones, you can do a solo cut and you can lay down all the ones, and then that makes it a little bit easier for everyone to know where your numbers are on your timeline or on your number line of your board. I really like this game. It's one of those games, I can't remember what it's called, where there's like 66 chapters that you can play,
It's sort of a
but you don't
campaign.
have to play it as
Right,
a campaign
right,
game.
right. You could go through every
Mm-hmm.
single thing. Well, what we're talking about, this is also my number
Oh,
three new game for the year.
oh, there you go.
So far. So yeah, like Stacey was saying, there's 66 different missions.
Oh, says so on the box.
And you can go through all of them if you want, but I've heard a lot of people say they just once they do them, they find some that they really enjoy doing, and some that they're like, I don't really like that one, and they just do those ones. It plays really well at two
Mm-hmm.
players. It scales. I haven't played it above two, but I've seen it played, and I understand the aspects of it. So the way it scales for 2 to 4 players is at 4 players, every single person has one um, little tile holder with wires on it. And each person is going to reveal, not necessarily just with a little thing that goes in front of your tile holder, one of their numbers, where one of their numbers is. So you're going to have 4 pieces of information of the at least 48 pieces of information, or yeah, if not, with red wires and yellow wires, maybe up to 50, 53, pieces of information. So you're going to have more information. As you go down to fewer players, if you have 3 players, one person's going to have 2 of those that act as separate tiles or separate holders. So what you like Stacey said, what you can do is if you have all of one number left, you can do a solo cut. So if you've got 2 things that each have 12 tiles on it, it is more likely you might be able to do a solo cut. But they act as one thing. So you only get to give one piece of information for those 24 tiles. You don't get to give one on each holder. 2 players, you each have 2. So now, if you've got 48 total tiles, 53 if you've got red and yellow in there sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you're each giving each person one piece of information on one of your holders. So that is where the scaling comes. Is it's going to be a lot more likely that you are going to be able to do a solo cut at some point, because if you have 3 of one number, you'd be like, hey, I just need to get rid of this other one and then I can solo cut this. Or you might get 4 of one number. Whereas at the higher player counts, you're getting more information, so you can get those early cuts a little bit quicker. You'd be like, hey, oh, that's an 8. Perfect. I can take rid of that. Oh, that's a 6. That's a 2. So you start getting rid of stuff a little bit easier. So you might be able to kind of be like, oh, that's a 2. That's probably a 1 then over here. That's why they gave me the 2. So I know that. So you can start eliminating things. So I do think that this game is going to scale really well from 2 to 4 players. But yeah, this one has been a lot of fun for us. When we first got it out, we played through all 8 training scenarios in one weekend, and then we've played several since. So
Yep.
excited to play more. It's a pretty quick setup.
Yeah.
A lot of little wires you need to separate out, but other than that,
The one thing I do like about this is with each scenario, you get your different cards for your missions of what you need to achieve. So let's say you, in that one, I'm just making this up, so this might not be in the game, but it's just a possible scenario. Is you might have you might have to get all the ones turned over in order to um, disconnect something else or get the eights.
Yeah.
So you have to play it in order. You have to get the ones, the eights, and the tens in order to be able to actually achieve that. And you have to do it in order to achieve that particular scenario. So I do like that it every scenario that you play is different, but yet the same. If that makes sense.
Yep. And when you start opening boxes, there's tons of boxes. It adds new things in, and you have some extra cards for some abilities. Once you unlock them from clipping that number wire, you get some extra one-time use abilities, which helps. You can also at any time once per game, unless you have the ability to reset it, you can do a not a dual cut, but basically you can guess two numbers. Like I think either this or this is a 4, and if either one is, you're right. But yeah, and if you're ever wrong, what happens is the person then puts the number in there, so you know what number it actually is for the future. And depending on player count, it depends on how many you can get wrong. So in 2-player game, you can get 2 wrong, and you're done. So yep,
Go ahead. I was just to say we have a playthrough of this on our channel. So
yeah, we do.
If you'd like to see a 2-player playthrough of that, make sure you look it up and let us know what you think.
And that one does have a few spoilers because it did have some stuff where you had to do stuff in order, but I don't think spoilers in this game really do a whole lot. It's not like you're spoiling. That's just one of the many things that comes up.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That is a good one.
I'm just gonna leave it right here because I can't put it down.
I'll move okay. All right, my number 2 game that I've played solo only is one that I've heard about for years. It used to be only in Brazil, and finally, who was it? Spin Master and I think Arcane Wonders brought this to the US. I think it's a Dice Tower Essential, and this one just brings back a lot of memories from when I was in high school and after and stuff, and a lot of these comics I've seen. And this is Comic Hunters. Comic Hunters is a drafting game where you're trying to make the most perfect comic collection. Part of this is just nostalgia, and just the actual artwork is just gorgeous because it's the actual comic book covers. But I really like the 4 different drafting mechanisms that take place depending on where you're going. Each round, you're going to 2 different locations. I think it's a comic shop, a convention, a like a flea market sort of thing, and an online auction. So each one of those things has a different drafting mechanism, and some are really cool. One of them, the convention, I think it is, you actually are sliding cards around and you're trying to slide it in the space. You have a 5x5 grid, but only the outline and the middle, and you're going to slide a card around, and then what you do is you get to say which type you want. So I might slide a card around and go, I want all the Captain America cards in this row, and you get to take all the Captain America cards in that row. In the solo game, the AI will take stuff as well, so you're trying to plan out what they're going to take. There's also one where you put 3 cards and 4 cards. You take one of them. The AI will take the other one. Depending on which one you take, you either spend $1 or $5 of your extra secret money. Basically, you're trying to do some different goals, like maybe you're trying to get #1 comics or rare comics or those diamonds in the rough or first appearances or new costumes or whatever it is in different things. So the cards in this one, and people who play this are not very good. They don't sit flat whatsoever. But the gameplay in this is really good. It may be the first game that I ever sleeve, and I don't like sleeves. We had a game that we played that was sleeved, but it may just help this game just because of that fact that the cards aren't very good. But the gameplay in this is amazing. Like I said, 4 different drafting things. You go through the weekend, and yeah, that's Comic Hunters by Arcane Wonders. My number 2 solo game so far this year. New to me solo game.
And my next number 2, I think I can get that
got
one.
It?
Yeah. Just smile.
Careful.
I got it. Is Takedo. Let me lift it up. Is Takedo. And that is by Stonemeyer Games. It's on the Takedo Trail, and it's a fairly small board with some minor setup with some cards and things like that. And you are trying to make your way through the Takedo Trail and earn money, give gifts to the what's the
temple.
the
Give money to the temple.
and you're trying to buy pictures so that you can earn extra points that way as well. You're trying to set collect so that you can earn cards so that you can move along the trail. And the thing I like about this is whoever's in the back, if you are in the back 2 times in a row, then you get to go 2 times in a row until you're now in front of somebody, and then whoever's in the back gets to go first again.
It's
But
like catch-up mechanism,
yeah, I don't know what
or
that's called.
ratchet. Some people call it the ratchet because you're like ratcheting yourself closer. Yeah. So if you're last person, you get to always you're the next player.
So that's one of the reasons that I like this game. The other reason that I like this game is the artwork. Apparently, from my Stonemeyer professional over here, I was told that this originated as a game in China or Japan
Well,
or somewhere, and they took.
no,
Is this the one, or am I incorrect?
no. So
See,
this is just a game that they. So
I'm on
what you're
medication.
thinking? What you're thinking is, Taikaido's a game that's been out for many years,
Yes.
and Stonemeyer got the rights to it last year and then brought their version of
There you
it,
go.
which they just updated a few things. The artwork's all exactly the same.
Oh.
The gameplay's the exact same. Um, they didn't change it. They just made some clarities things on it and some different things in it. So yeah.
Yeah, but
And added a solo mode.
yeah, Stonemeyer games usually tend to be a little too heavy for me. So this is one that I think would make a good family game. It's one of the lighter Stonemeyer games, and
Yeah.
so that is one of the reasons that I like it. But I also just like to play it. You can there's a couple different variants you can play where you can go all the way down one board and then you can stop, or you can go all the way down the board and then play your way back if you have extra time. Um, it's just a fun game. I like fun games.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
me.
really good one.
So that's my.
Takedo's 2 for 2 with, or Takedo. You're traveling between Ito and Kyoto. Ito is now
Yes.
Tokyo. Takedo. Stonemeyer is actually 2 for 2 with
Well,
this year.
there's. Well, yeah, too,
Two for
because
two.
I
Well, two
also
for
like
two.
fin span.
Yeah, and I meant
So.
for this year, like two for
Oh
two.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
those
yeah,
both came out this year, and those have both been on the
yeah.
lighter side. I don't think the next one is going to be pretty. I don't think
Hmm.
Vantage. You can try it, but it's going to be a longer game.
Oh.
It's an exploration game. So
I'm not a longer game kind
yeah,
of person.
I
After
think
about 45 minutes to an hour, I'm kind of done.
yeah. All right, that brings me to my number 2 multiplayer game, and this is one that we are actually going to live stream next week. It is another. So this is actually the third. Um, I guess the second re-implementation or whatever you want to call it of a classic game, um, and the third kind of second version. The gameplay of this one, like Takedo, exactly the same. Just artwork change and stuff. This is a push your luck game all about brewing potions, and this is Quacks. And yes, I know this artwork is highly controversial. I like this. It's kind of got that claymation uh, look to it. Without this artwork, this game would not be in our collection, and I think it's probably going to be on both of our top 10 end of the year, games of the year or new to us games, honestly. So yeah, in Quacks or Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is the original one version of it, you are drawing potions and you're trying to make potions. You're trying to get different things in your potion without busting. And if you bust, you stop. If you keep going until you want to stop, you can get up to 7 in your boomberries. And yeah, so you just keep placing them in your cauldron and you're moving around. At the end of the round, whoever went the furthest gets to roll a bonus dice. You get to do some extra bonus things at the end of the round. If you bust, you can either buy new things to put into your potion that you might be into your bag that you might be able to draw, or you can get points. If you don't bust, you get both. So far, Stacey has beaten me every time we've played this. So fingers crossed. Next week when we live stream, I can get my first win. Uh, she's like, no. But yeah,
Maybe.
this is a really fun game. It's a really fun push your luck game. The bag building is like, oh, what do I want to buy? Do I want to get a lot of stuff and move slowly? Do I want to, hopefully I can move far enough where I can start getting some of those bigger ones where I can move 2, 3, 4 spaces at a time, because that's where you start really being able to like get lots of money and lots of points. But yeah, there's different different things you're putting in your potion. Each one of those has a different ability. Some of them are instant abilities, which help you immediately during the round. Some of them are uh, end round abilities, which give you some points. You're also you're having your fortune told. So, yeah, that is Quacks, and this is brought to us by CMYK Games. All right, that was my number 2 multiplayer. And moving on to my number 1 solo game. This was my number 2 most anticipated game of the year. My number 1 just launched, and I have it that is Vantage, but my number 2, and this one has been a huge hit for me. I played it multiple times the first week I got it out. I have a solo playthrough of this one, and it is a heavy box because I have it deluxeified and have all the deluxe stuff, and I think it'd be heavy anyway. And this is the latest from City of Games, and this is Emberleaf. Emberleaf is a game where you are Emberlings and you are trying to rebuild your villages. And what you're doing is you are placing your characters down on this board. And when you do that, there's multiple things that might happen. There are some immediate abilities that you might gain some resources. You might be able to build things. You might be able to attack. Then there's slide mechanism where you slide all of your cards left. Now, I think there's some other games that have this in it. This is the first one I've ever seen this in, and it's really cool. So you slide your cards, and if you have a slide mechanism, you go from top, bottom, left to right. So you do the top card, bottom card in the first column, and you keep going, and you do that, and you do what it says to do. There's also an ongoing. Some of them have ongoing abilities. So every time you do a certain thing, you get some bonus for it. There is a drop off mechanism. So some of them, when you drop off, when the card drops off the board and comes back to your hand, you get to do something. And there's one other, and I can't remember what that one is, but I know there's 5 different things you can do. But there's also some tile placement because you're rebuilding the different areas, the different regions that you're placing tiles in. There's some engine building because you want to put your little characters, your little heroes in your on your board, on your fellowship board, so that they synergize the best. So you'd be like, okay, let's see, if I put this here, I can get this. Then when I slide these, this is going to do this, and this might do this. And then when this drops off, I can build, and I'm going to have the resources for it. Or, oh, if I do that, I'm going to have too many resources. I'm going to have to get rid of some. So the way you do that, and then you have resource management because you're getting these different resources so that you can build different parts of the city. There's 6 things on your fellowship board that you have to build because those give you some extra abilities. So like sometimes it may say you get to attack 1 for every sword you have. Well, one of the things you can build gives you 2 extra free swords every time. So Emberleaf, amazing game. This game quickly moving up even my overall solo gaming list. I really like this one. It is so much fun. And yeah, that one is Emberleaf by City of Games. This may overtake Isle of Cats as my favorite City of Game
Ooh,
game.
I was just gonna ask you
It,
that.
it, it may overtake Isle of Cats for me for solo play.
Wow.
Yep, yep.
See, when we first watched a playthrough or something, we watched an explanation of that game, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, do you think this game looks like something you would enjoy?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that looks like something that I would enjoy." And then the box came, and I was like,
She's
"Yeah,
intimidated by the large box size, but it's not really that much larger than some of these other ones.
okay,
Not that much larger.
okay." But yeah,
I think she saw it set up too and went, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
yeah,
But
that's a little too much. But anyway, that's just me. So, my number 1 game that I have learned this year is a game that is a bag building game. It's a game about a doctor who is a little quacky, likes to use weird things in his potions. Um, a game that I don't win very often, but I really, really. Okay,
you
I've
win
won.
every time.
Okay, I've won every time, and I really like this cover. If you had have showed me the original cover to
Which
this
I
game,
have.
oh, we have it.
I've shown no,
Oh,
which I have done.
and I was like, no, I don't want to play that game. That cover's stupid. But I like this game. This is the kind of game that I can really get into as a non-gamer gamer. It's a good family game, and that is Wax. Thank you. Quacks is quickly becoming one of my favorite games that I've played. I don't know what my number one all time game is because I like different games for different
Right.
reasons. But this is quickly approaching like that game where I will actually ask to play. I'll be like, "Oh, honey, why don't we play a game tonight? Why don't we play Quacks?" That would be one of those games, and I don't do that very often. Um, I like the artwork. I like the board. I like the theme of it. I like how you go in the circles. That makes you kind of dizzy and how you're putting everything on there. I like how you collect your tiles to put on there. I just like everything about this game, and you can tell because I'm getting really excited as
Yeah.
I talk about it. I just love this game. I think we should just play it every day, and I think it's the only game that we should play.
Next week when I win, she's not gonna be saying the same thing.
Challenge accepted. But I do like how you have all of your tiles in your bag and you reach in there and depending on what number you bring out on how many spaces around the board. And then you have the extra cards that can say, "Hey, if you draw the spider after," I don't know if this is right because I don't memorize the cards, but if you draw the spider after you draw the pumpkin, move an additional space for each pumpkin that you have on the board, and so then you get
That's
to
the
gain
mushroom.
more.
That is one
Yeah,
of the things, but that's the mushroom.
so you get to gain even more spaces, and then the further you move on the board, the more money you get that you can spend to get more tiles to put in your bag. And it's just press your luck, and I love a press your luck
Yeah,
games.
we push your luck. We've said this numerous times. Has come. I mean, we both had dive and quacks on our list, and they're both push your luck. I mean, we love push your luck games.
Yeah. So that's my number one. If you don't like this box cover,
Oh
then
well.
that's your
Oh
prerogative, and
well.
that's okay.
Yeah. You know, different people. You know, a lot of people don't. A lot of people say it looks like AI art. I think it looks like claymation myself. Yeah. It would not be in our collection
Mm.
if it weren't for that cover, and I think that's the same for a lot of people. And the Bakelite tokens in the deluxe version
Mm-hmm.
are just amazing. You know.
The
So
quality of the bag is good.
yeah.
I mean, the I'm just gonna stop because I can go on all day about it.
All right, that is a good one. That I mean, I talked about it too. So the only one that was my number two, and the only thing that has passed it comes so from Dranda Games. It's another one that is not a new game. Well, it is a newer game. It didn't come out in 2025. We actually only had two of those. Ember Leaf and
Oh,
A Nice Cup were the only two that actually came out in 2025. I think a lot of the big, well, Tokaido did, sort of.
yeah,
Stonemeyer's
the
version did.
remake.
Um, uh, the rest of these were all pre 2025 games. And so this one came out last year. I did pass on it originally on Kickstarter, and then started seeing so much great stuff about it. I'm like, oh, this game looks really fun. And this is from Dranda Games, and this is Explorers of Navoria. We did do initial impressions for this, and I think we might do a playthrough of this month. I might do a solo playthrough as well. Explorers of Navoria is really cool because it has almost this multi-tiered drafting mechanism over multi-stages in a round. In the first stage in a round, you are taking tiles, you're taking tokens out of a bag, and you're choosing one and you're placing it on a card. And then you're choosing one of the three face-up cards to take to draft that card. You could also, the one you don't take, you're going to put in the city. If after the first player, if there's a token in the city and you really want a card in that row, you can take that token. Each set of cards does some different things. Once you get your cards and your people into your city, into your like you're exploring. So what you're doing is you're exploring. Um, you live in Navoria, and let me backtrack. You live in Navoria, and these three new islands have popped up around your lands, and you're sending explorers out to explore these three different islands and see what they are. So you're trying to get people into your your band of explorers to go and check out these islands. And then so in the second stage, after you've done the card drafting, then you are once again drafting, but now you're drafting the tokens that are on the cards and you are placing them around the spots in the city to get some resources and some bonuses to be able to do some different things. And then you are, some of it is moving through the different areas in your in the different islands. And then you can place out camps so that you can start further ahead instead of having to go all the way back to the beginning of an island. You're maybe 2, 3, 4 spots in. Um, and then at the end, you're doing some scoring based on set collecting and a bunch of different things. I really like this game. This is so much of the artwork in this is just amazing as well. So the artwork of this is absolutely gorgeous. There's a little shine to it as well. The cover has a little shine to it. You can kind of see the board there where you're doing some different things with the cards. This is just a phenomenal game. That, like I said, the different stages of the round where you're doing kind of different drafting things and doing different things. You're building your party, but then you're using the tokens to like get some bonuses or to move on the island and actually do the exploring. I just really love everything about this game. Um, it was a big hit right away for us. Even I mean,
this was my honorary game.
it
This
was
was
it
the
was the one
one
that
that I
just
had a really hard time deciding if I was going to have this one or Dive on my list. I haven't talked about this game enough
mm,
to put it in my list, but it is slowly moving up my list, that's for sure. I
yeah,
really enjoy this game. I too enjoy the artwork. I like the play of it. It's not a game that takes forever to play. It's a pretty quick play. You can probably get two in a night if you wanted to. I mean, it's only took us probably 20 minutes, maybe
no, it's about
20 to 30 minutes to
about
play.
probably 40, probably 20
Oh,
minutes per player.
oh, because it seemed like a lot faster than that.
Yeah,
So it's not one for me anyway that just kind of dragged on because each player doesn't have to take forever to make a
right.
decision on what they're trying to do, and you're doing things simultaneously, kind of.
Well, it's quick because you can go, okay, I really need, I need you're kind of looking
You
at the
plan
cards. You're
ahead.
kind of looking at the cards you need and
Mm-hmm.
looking at some other stuff you need and hoping you can do that. Yeah. Yeah, I think we might stream this one and I think I might do a live stream or a solo stream of this as well. Um
We got
either
a lot of
either
games coming.
yeah, well, we got every Wednesday, we got to get this stuff up. We do have 2 live streams this month and we do have
Ooh.
one other one that we'll play. And
Okay.
maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll do a couple others just to put up
Okay.
later in the next month when we're too busy to do stuff. We might have to film
Yeah.
some stuff
I
ahead.
just do what I'm told.
Yeah. So this one's really good. I can't wait to get their not their newest game, but the next one that's going to deliver Lost Lumina because I have the player mat um with it, and it will make setup I think easier because it has all the spots for the cards. So you have your
Mm.
spots for the cards instead of having to like keep on putting them out and so it
Mm-hmm.
has all the spots. Plus it has the spots for the expansion cards and everything
Mm.
all on it. So it's so yeah. So that is Explorers of Nevoria by Dranda Games. My number one new to me multiplayer game so far for 2025. All right, let us know if you've played any of these games. Let us know what your top new to you games for the year so far are, whether they came out this year or not. This is not a 2025 games list, it is just new to us games.
Yes.
Um, like we said, I think this is going to be our last 5 and 9. We're going to kind of change some things up here with our lists and with our rankings and just do like top 5, each person do a top 5 or a top 10 or something in rankings. And that may remain on Fridays. We might move our playthroughs around a little bit. Once the school year hits, Wednesdays are little non-existent for me. So maybe we'll move our playthroughs to Fridays or something so that we can actually continue doing them. Even though it won't be Wednesdays with the Willses for those weeks, but that's okay. That's okay.
We could
Um,
just make up a last name that rhymes with Friday.
yeah, sure. Anyway, like I said, there's a list. Let us know if you've played them, what you think of them, and what new to you games are some of your favorites from 2025. Please like, comment, and subscribe below. It means so much for the channel. Once again, this has been Where There's Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian,
I'm
and
Stacey
we'll see you next time.
at the table.